So much. I'm so honored and thrilled to be here. I'm grateful to Time and everyone associated with this extraordinary honor. It means so much to me. I've been asked, ironically, to talk about what gives me hope, and particularly hope for gender equality and justice at this moment. And I'm asked to answer that question at a moment when we are seeing war, and we are facing so many restrictions on our rights. We're in a moment in which abortion has essentially been outlawed in the state of Texas with the imprimatur of the Supreme Court. We're in a time of ongoing pay inequity between women and men. We're facing a moment when all over the country, laws are being passed to keep our children from learning the truth about our history of race and gender inequality and the struggles of LGBTQ people. We're in a time of voter suppression when our very democracy is being undermined. We're in a time where hate crimes against Asian Americans have grown exponentially. We're in a time when we're challenged perhaps like we have never been in our lifetimes. And that seems a difficult time to talk about hope. But I'm a civil rights lawyer, and I come from a tradition of extraordinary people who managed to see something in this country that was not evident anywhere they looked. When Thurgood Marshall and Pauli Murray and Constance Baker Motley and all of those great heroes decided that they would break the back of Jim Crow and end legal segregation in this country, they had a vision of equality and justice that did not exist. They weren't using a blueprint that had been given to them. They weren't pointing to some other country where this thing that they were trying to accomplish had been realized. In their own imaginations, in their own moral spirit, in their own brains, in their own hearts, they set about a strategy to make it true. And their courage in doing that made my life possible and the lives of so many people in this room possible. Their work, breaking the back of Jim Crow, led Pauli Murray to coin the term Jane Crow, which inspired the work of women's rights lawyer Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And those struggles undergirded the LGBTQ struggle. And those struggles encouraged the struggle of the Latino community and the Chicano community, our great friend Dolores Huerta, and on and on and on, to the point of changing the course of American democracy in the 20th century. There was no reason for those people to believe that they could accomplish what they believed, and yet they did it. And so in this moment of tremendous challenge, I do feel encouraged, because on the other side of this moment of challenge is opportunity. The opportunity to make the world we really want, not to go back to the world that we lived with 20 years ago, where so much of what we're now seeing was papered over, but just beneath the surface. Now it's been revealed. Martin Luther King said we must surface the tension. And so the tension has been surfaced, and it is only in that place that we can confront it and do the work of real transformation. The good news is the generation of young people that I see, like my daughter Amali, who's with me tonight, make all the connections. They understand that climate justice and gender justice and LGBTQ rights and racial justice and police violence and gender equality are all interconnected. And at this moment in this country, we can now see that all of those things, if they are not confronted and addressed, will bring down the entire democracy. These are not side issues that are about women or Black people or members of particular communities. These are issues that go to the very heart and strength and foundation of American democracy. We will not survive unless we engage the issue of equality as central to the core of American values. And that gives me hope. I've waited my whole professional life for this country to understand that that is the work of us here. So thank you very much. Good night.